Welcome to Nurse Burnout Solutions, the show that empowers you to beat stress, reclaim your energy, and discover lasting fulfillment in your nursing career. I'm your host, Betty McLean. I'm a nurse with over 20 years of experience, and I'm also a certified life and certified burnout coach. I'm here to share expert insights with you, a lot of practical tools, and some inspiring stories. So join me as we navigate the challenges of a career in healthcare, and I help you find renewed purpose and resiliency, one episode at a time. Today, we are going to dive into understanding the stress response cycle and how it applies to nurses working in healthcare. Stress is unavoidable. It's a part of our profession. It's a part of life, really. But understanding the cycle can help us manage it more effectively. So, when I say the stress response cycle, here's what I mean. It's the natural process that our bodies go through when we're responding to stress. Our brains are constantly on the lookout for danger at a subconscious level. And when it thinks it's found something dangerous, it activates that vagus nerve and the sympathetic nervous system to fight, flee, or in specific situations, freeze. And this cycle can be broken into three stages: the alarm, the resistance, and the recovery. And we're going to break down each stage and explore how we can navigate each of them most effectively. So, first, we have the alarm stage, and it's exactly what it sounds like. This is our body's immediate reaction to a stressor. It's often called the fight or flight response. When we face a stressful situation like a code at the hospital, our body releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones are great. They prepare us to either confront a challenge or to flee from it. This is all very normal and actually healthy. We want that reaction to be there if there's an actual threat. Unfortunately, in the nursing profession, this stage is triggered frequently, whether it's dealing with a critical patient, managing a heavy workload, or handling difficult interactions like with patients, their families, or even our coworkers. Our bodies are in a nearly constant state of alert. And this is a problem. We're going to get into it. So, how do you manage this alarm stage effectively? Once you've noticed that your body has alarmed, the first thing I want you to do is breathe. Breathe specifically for the stress response. We discussed this in the first episode. Effective breathing exercises can help calm your nervous system. Use the physiological sigh or 4-7-8 breathing when you feel or when you notice that stress. The second thing you can do is positive self-talk. Now, when I say positive self-talk, I'm talking about a specific way of speaking to yourself. You you remind yourself that you're capable and that you're equipped to handle the situation. It can be simple, just a quick affirmation like, I'm strong, I can do this. You are asking your brain to feel courageous, feel up for the challenge. If these statements feel like a lie, then you're going to try a bridge thought, because we don't ever want to gaslight ourselves. We don't, it's not usually effective to lie to yourself. So instead, you can do a bridge thought. So instead of I am strong, you say, I'm learning to be strong. If saying I can do this feels like a lie, you can say, I can figure out how to do this. It's better to find a bridge thought, a mostly true statement, rather than trying to gaslight yourself. So when you notice that alarm stage, breathe, get that breath slowed down, create room for your heart and for your lungs, and then tell yourself something positive. I always manage to get through this. I am strong. I'm capable. I'm learning to be excellent. Whatever it takes to help you feel a little bit of that empowerment, a little bit of that courage that's in there. The next after the alarm phase is the resistance stage. Now, in this phase, the body is in a state of resistance. There's still remaining on high alert, but wanting to return to a state of rest. In nursing, you're going to feel this when you are managing the demands of a long shift, trying to stay focused despite fatigue, continuing to provide compassionate care even when you're emotionally drained. The resistance stage can last for a prolonged period of time, and if it's not well managed, it will lead to burnout. But here are some strategies to help with this stage. First, take breaks. It is crucial to take short, regular breaks during your shift. Step outside for a few minutes. Step into the break room and have a healthy snack, or simply close your eyes and do some slow internal thinking and breathing. Remove yourself from the situation, even for a few minutes. This will help with a lot of things like decision fatigue, physical fatigue. We can talk about fatigue on a future episode. The next thing that's going to help with this resistance phase is basic hydration and nutrition. Keep yourself hydrated and try to eat balanced meals. While you're dealing with the resistance phase, especially if you're on a long 12-hour shift, it's going to be important to support your physical body. Try to avoid relying on caffeine and sugar since they will lead to energy crashes later on. And I realize I'm preaching to myself here as much as anyone, but it really is important. Make sure you're drinking water. Make sure you're providing your body with protein and good carbs and all the healthy things. Third is connection. I want you to talk with your coworkers, talk with a trusted friend, and share your experiences and support each other. This is not the same as having a wine fest where you're just complaining about all the problems. It's simply saying, wow, I'm really feeling a lot of stress right now. I just want to normalize this. You feel stressed when you're going through XYZ. Often just knowing that there's someone else who understands what you're going through can be incredibly reassuring to your nervous system. It normalizes your experience for your stress response, and it helps your brain and your body just slow down ever so slightly. Now, finally, we reach the recovery phase. The recovery stage, this is when our body is able to come out of that resistance and fully drop into its normal state of calm after the stressors have passed. Unfortunately, in healthcare and in our fast-paced society in general, we often don't have enough time to fully drop into that recovery time before the next stressor hits. This is what leads to chronic stress and to burnout, which is why high pressure jobs statistically have higher levels of burnout. The body is not designed to handle one stressor after another, after another, after another, without returning to that calm homeostasis in between the stressors. Effective recovery is essential for long-term health and for well-being. And here's a couple things you can do to support your body and your minds and to move into that recovery stage more quickly. The first is rest. Make sure you're getting enough sleep, please. You should be aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night. That's what all of the science is recommending. You need to create, especially if you're someone who has a hard time either falling asleep or staying asleep, you need to create a bedtime routine to help yourself wind down. You can read a book, take a bath, practice yoga, do journaling, whatever you need to do. There are wonderful resources out there for getting quality sleep. So please make that a priority. The next essential tool for making sure you can drop quickly into your recovery stage is physical activity. Again, I know you know the benefits of engaging in regular exercise, but really it can be anything. It does not have to be long or complicated. It can be a brisk walk, a dance session. Physical activity helps release the tension that builds up during that alarm phase and resistance phase. It helps all that tension release from the body, and it promotes that production of endorphins and our natural mood boosters, helps the body regulate. The last thing I want to mention when we're talking about this final recovery stage of burnout is the concept of hobbies and interests. So when you make time for activities that you enjoy outside of work, it can be anything you enjoy: painting, gardening, playing a musical instrument, reading, it doesn't matter. When you're doing something that you love, it reduces stress and it enhances your overall well-being. And what this does is it creates a space of calm and pleasure in your brain, which, when you're then in a stressful situation, creates almost a buffer or inoculation against that stress. This is what people talk about, being resilient or having resiliency. That's where it comes from. It comes from taking care of yourself and learning how to drop into calm and peace and joy when you're outside of the stressful situation. So that when you're in the stressful situation, your body knows what it feels like to be calm and happy. Super important when you are learning to manage your stress and stay out of burnout. Understanding that stress response cycle and knowing how to navigate through these stages, it's critical for nurses. By recognizing the alarm stage, managing the resistance stage, and then ensuring effective recovery, we will build resiliency and will prevent burnout. Remember, listening to your body and your mind and seeking support when needed. This is how we create a career in healthcare that we enjoy and that is sustainable. Make sure you are talking to trusted friends. Make sure you're joining support groups and you're seeking professional help. If you are not managing your satisfaction, if you're not managing your stress to your own satisfaction, please reach out for help. There are tools and techniques and lots of ways to manage stress. You just have to find the right way for you. And if you can't do it on your own, please reach out for help. Okay, so to recap, we discussed the 3 stages of the stress response cycle: the alarm stage, the resistance stage, and the recovery stage. By implementing strategies such as deep breathing, taking regular breaks, making sure you're sleeping well, you can effectively manage stress and maintain your well-being. In the show notes, I'm going to leave a link for a free PDF that you can print out. It's called 3 Quick Steps to Lowering Your Stress. And it's a great way to move quickly through the 3 stages of the stress response cycle. And when you get really good at it, it can be very quick. Now, this is a PDF that you're going to want to print out so that you can keep it with you, put it on your fridge, put it in your break room, like carry it with you so that you can remember how to walk quickly through these phases. The more you do it, the less you'll need reminders. Thanks for listening today to Nurse Burnout Solutions. Remember, I really believe that all stress is manageable and burnout is not inevitable. If you are struggling with stress or in burnout, I can help. Check out the show notes for ways that we can connect and get you the support that you deserve.